Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge Fate Stay Night Remastered. Und ja, Shiro ist ja jetzt mit Sakura an der Schule angekommen. Sakura is to the club while I head to the school building. The schoolyard is filled with athletic club members training. This morning is practically brimming with enthusiastic energy. But something feels strange. Everything in the school is as usual. The students exercising for morning practice are lively, and the new school building is spotless. Maybe it's just my imagination. But when I close my eyes, the mood changes drastically. The building walls feel stained, like membranes have latched onto them, and the students themselves seem like empty dolls. Maybe I'm just tired. I shake my head to clear it and head onto campus. School ends early on Saturdays. Classes end in the morning, but by the time I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set. Guess it's time to go home. I pack my bag and leave the classroom. But then I run into Shinji. There are a few girls behind him making a small commotion.
やることもないくせにまだ残ってたの？ああ、そうか。また生徒会にごますってたわけね。いいね、ミヤは。部活なんてやんなくても内心稼げるんだからさ。
I'm not having the student council, I'm just having the school by repairing old equipment, since we all use it.
よく言うよ。エミヤに言わせればなんだって当たり前だからね。そういういい子ぶりが勘に触るって前に言わなかったっけ？
Oh, fuck. Don't remember. I probably wasn't listening if you did. You say that kind of stuff all the time.
そうかい。それじゃあ学校にあるものなら何でも直してくれるんだ、エミヤは。
It's impossible to fix everything. The most I can do is take care of things.
よし。なら頼まれてくれよ。うちの弓道場さ、今割と散らかってるんだよね。弦も巻いてないのが溜まってるし、安土の掃除もできてない。暇ならさ、そっちの方もよろしくやってくれないかな。元弓道部員だろ。生徒会になんか尻尾振ってないで。たまには僕たちの役に立ってくれ。
ちょっと先輩、それって先輩が藤村先生に言われてたことじゃなかった？そうですよ。ちゃんとやっておかないと明日怒られますよ。
でもさ、今から片付けしてたら店閉まるじゃん。そこの人がやってくれるんならそれでいいんじゃないの？
悪いよ。それに部外者に後片付けなんかできるわけないし。そうでもないんじゃない？あの人元弓道部員だってシンジが言ってるしさ。任せちゃえばいいのよ。
Na, das sind ja auch tolle Mädchen. The girls behind Shinji are awfully chatty. They seem to be Kyoto members, but since I don't recognize any of them, they must be the members Shinji recruited recently.
じゃあ、あとはよろしく。鍵の場所は変わってないから、勝手にやっといてよ。文句ないよね、エミヤ。
No, I don't mind. I've got some time on my hands, so it's no problem.
サンキュー。それじゃあ行こうぜみんな。つまんない雑用はあいつがやっといてくれるってさ。
あ、待ってよ先輩。じゃああとはよろしくお願いしますね先輩。
Da werden einige nicht erfreut von sein. I clean the Kyoto dojo without any problems since I'm familiar with it. It's a big room, so it took a while, but it was kind of fun cleaning the place I used to spend so much time in until a year and a half ago. Midway through I considered trying to shoot a bit, but decided not to. It would be rude to the owner of the bow. If I want to shoot, all I have to do is bring my own bow and visit. I look at the time and it's way past curfew. It's a little after 7, the school gates must be closed by now, so there's no need for me to rush out. Now that I look closely, I don't remember the dojo being so dirty before. There's dirt and grime all over the place, like behind the bow rest in the club room. Well, I guess another hour or two wouldn't make much of a difference at this point. I've already started, so I might as well clean every nook and cranny. The wind is starting to pick up. It's so cold, my cheeks start to sting. My cheeks start to sting. Fuyuki typically isn't cold at night during winter, but tonight's certainly an exception. My breath fogs in the air with every exhale. No wonder it's darker than usual. The moon's hidden tonight. I look up and there's no light in the sky. The strong winds send the clouds speeding across the night sky. Curfew is long past and there's no sign of life in the empty school. Not so much as a sound can be heard on campus. And it seems to be covered with colder air than any place in town. Da hören wir doch was. I think I heard something. I do hear something. Is it coming from the schoolyard? That night under the frosty sky. I guess I just got curious about the sound that broke the hushed silence. Headed towards the sound to investigate. I go to the schoolyard. Is that people? It looks that way, at least from a distance. It's just so damn dark. I need to get close if I want to find out more. The sounds grow louder, more intense. I know that sound. It's clashing metal. It sounds like a fight. This is so stupid. What am I thinking? I'm being stupid, obviously. Who would ever fight in a school courtyard with weapons like that? And then, it was probably a gut instinct that sensed the danger. Or maybe keeping out of sight as I approached was just a stroke of luck. Whatever the reason, I hid behind the tree big enough to conceal me and took a closer look at the source of the sound. Yup. There my mind froze. What? I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. A man in red and a man in blue. The two of them are clad in armor so ancient it's several steps beyond old-fashioned. It's a ridiculous sight, but their rapid, deadly movements make clear that the fight is no joke. I don't understand. I can't even follow their movements. They're too fast. The movements look so surreal, my mind can't function properly. The sound of their clashing weapons is the only thing convincing me the two of them are actually fighting to the death. But there's one thing I'm sure about. They are not human. They have to be something else, in the guise of humans. My magecraft training isn't why I know this. Anyone could see that these two aren't human. To start, humans just can't move like that. Nobody should get involved with whatever that is. I can feel their intent to kill, even from a distance. I'm going to die. My body instinctively knows before my brain kicks in that I just won't live if I stay here. My racing heart is proof of that. I sense they're living things designed only to kill. No knife or blade would be a match for whatever they're wielding. They are clearly meant only to kill. I suddenly remember yesterday's murders. The family that fell victim is said to have been killed by a bladed weapon. Damn, I shouldn't stay and watch another second. But I can't move a muscle, I can hardly breathe. My mind is telling me to flee. But something else tells me they will find me the second I move. More than any internal conflict though, I am just paralyzed. I am more than 40 meters away from them, but as they imagine getting stabbed in the back with that spear, I can't breathe. The sound stops. The two figures separate and stand facing each other. Just as I am starting to feel a sense of relief that the fight's over, another stronger sense of malice creeps over me. Wow. My heart feels like it is shriveled up in my chest. The numbness in my body turns to convulsion, and I clench my teeth in an effort to compose myself. Unbelievable. Who the hell is that guy? A nauseating high amount of magical energy flows into the man in blue. Kritsugo once demonstrated to me how to draw in magical energy from one's surroundings. It was a kind of magecraft so beautiful that it impressed even an apprentice mage like me. But this is different. The same way, even the simple act of drinking water can look revolting if done excessively. The man in blue appears to be binge-eating. The sight is so extreme that anyone with magic energy would find it repulsive. He is going to die. The man in red is dead meat. The attack will be infused with more magic energy than anyone could possibly defend against. He is going to die. That inhuman something in the guise of a man is going to die. But can I just let this happen? That question shakes me out of my paralysis. My body is suddenly free and I take a deep breath. The man in blue glares in my direction. The man in blue crouches in a way that tells me one thing. I am his new target. My legs are moving before I even have the thought of running. The rest of my body finally realizes it's time to flee for my life, and suddenly all my energy is being put into doing exactly that. Oh, scheiße gelaufen, Shiro. I don't remember where I ran through or how I got there, but I'm in the school building. Real genius here. I regret my own actions as I huff and puff. I should have run toward town. I've got to be the world's biggest idiot thinking I can escape by running into an empty building. A school of all places, there must have been others, better places to hide. And what they convinced me I would die if I didn't run to begin with. My chest burns from all the running. I turn around but I don't sense anything pursuing me. The only sound is my own footsteps. I can finally stop. My feet can barely move another step. I gulp down lungfuls of air trying to slow my heart down and breathe a sigh of relief. I survived. What the hell was all that? I try to recall what I just saw as I catch my breath. One thing's for sure. I definitely wasn't meant to see that. Things that looked human fighting in the schoolyard at night. That's all I can really remember. But I had seen something else out of the corner of my eye. I think there was also someone else. I can't remember what they looked like though. Honestly, I couldn't afford to look at anything other than the two figures locked in combat. But finally... Oops, the voice comes from right in front of me. I can't breathe. My mind goes blank. I can't think. But I know that I'm going to die. And with that, he raised his spear. No mercy, no compassion. His spear pierces my heart. I didn't even have time to dodge. No training I ever did prepared me for this. I knew I was going to die. I knew the spear was going to impale me, but I couldn't move. The world distorts around me. My body grows cold. Numbness creeps from my fingertips into the rest of me. Look. I cough up blood once. I felt like there should have been more, but it was just in the one cough. That spear must have been special. My blood slows and grows stagnant. My heart just stops, all from a single strike of that spear. I can't see anything. I don't feel anything. I am like a jellyfish, floating in the dark sea at night. I stopped feeling pain long ago. The world has turned white in the lone, dark spot. So rather than being aware that I died, it just feels like everything around me has ceased to exist. I know this. I experienced the same thing 10 years ago. This is what dying feels like. My eyes can't focus. I can only hear his voice. He sounds so irritated. Afterwards, I hear footsteps fading down the hallway. Da hat er nicht Unrecht. The voice suddenly disappears. He must have jumped out the window. Afterwards, the footsteps I heard earlier stop. There's an awkward silence. Then footsteps again. I can't hear that well anymore. I don't know who's talking. I muster up all my concentration as my mind fades, but I still can't put my finger on it. All I can hear now is the sound of my breathing. My lungs must still be functioning. I hear a loud whistling sound coming from my mouth, like a passing typhoon. I sense somebody peering into my face. My breathing must be loud as the person reaches their finger out to try to close my mouth. Whoever it is, they grit their teeth, seeming troubled. The moment I hear that sound, the person touches me without hesitation. The voice sounds distressed, but at that moment my fading consciousness finally flickers to nothing. Sensations return to my body. Slowly, little by little, my bodily functions return, like deep drops tickling down a leaf. Drip, drip. What's going on? The person hovering over me is sweating, intensely focusing on me where their hands are pressed against my chest. The next thing I know, the palm over my chest grows extremely hot. It's so hot my corpse jolts, and my cold, stagnant blood starts to flow again. Phew. I sense the person take a deep breath and sit down. I hear something fall. Well, that was it. The person mocks himself and leaves. My heart resumes beating, and then I finally pass out. But it's not the everlasting sleep I expected. I fall into a slumber, bound to wake again. I wake suddenly. I feel sick and my entire body aches. Every time my heart beats, a sharp pain stabs my heart. What happened? My intense headache prevents me from remembering anything. My body is cold and stiff, likely because I've been sleeping in the hallway for a long time. The only thing I can figure out is that the chest area of my uniform is torn and my blood stains the hall floor. My head feels hazy as I get up. The spot where I had been lying looks like a murder scene. Damn, seriously? Was my chest stabbed? I fight down a surge of nausea as I head into a nearby classroom. Staggering, I open a closet and pull out a rag and bucket. What the hell am I doing? Putzen? I'm still confused. I encountered something unbelievable, then it murdered me. But here I am, still trying to clean up after myself. How stupid can I be? Damn, it's not coming out. I wipe at the floor with a rag I found. I managed to wipe off the blood despite the incredible weakness in my whole body. Then gather up everything scattered around the floor and shove it into my pockets. This may be my way of hiding any evidence. I must be doing such stupid stuff because my head is all hazy. Yeah, I put the rag and bucket away and stagger out of the school like a zombie. My body heats up with every step I take. It's so cold outside, yet my body seems to be on fire. By the time I reach my house, the date has changed. There's nobody in the house. Sakura and even Fujine left long ago. I collapse on the floor. Lying on the floor is what lets me finally come down a bit. I inhale deeply. My heart feels like it cracks every time my chest expands to draw in air. Actually, it's the opposite. It's not that my heart is cracking. The hole in my heart was just patched up, so expanding my chest opens the wound. So I really was almost killed. That's also not true. I wasn't almost killed, I was killed. But someone saved me, and now I'm alive. I wonder who it was. I would really like to thank them. If they were in the area, it means they could be involved with the people fighting. But it still doesn't change the fact that they saved me, so I need to thank them properly one day. The moment I drop my guard, the pain returns. At the same time, nausea strikes me. I sit up towards the nausea at bay. I place hand on my bare chest where the uniform is torn. It might have been saved, but my chest was, as a matter of fact, pierced. That feeling. The agony of the spear tip piercing my chest isn't something I can easily forget. Damn, I'm going to have nightmares about this for a while. When I close my eyes, I feel the spear thrust again. I try to shake that delusion off, and I make every effort to regain my composure. God, I'm calming down. Good, I'm calming down. This must be thanks to my nightly training. My thoughts clear as I take slow deep breaths. The fever and nausea abate a bit. So about what happened. The man in blue and the man in red. They look human, but I know they're not. They could have been ghosts of some kind, but I've never heard of ghosts having forms that allow them to interact with humans like that. And the thing was talking, which makes it a little harder to believe it was a ghost, if it had a will of its own. From what I've heard, the only spirits that possess physical bodies are the elemental types, but I thought elementals didn't look human. Well, that's not the issue here. That's a more fundamental issue. Those two were trying to kill each other, and there was a robbery and a murder at the house nearby. Eerie stuff like that has been plaguing Fuyuki lately. With all of this in mind, the only conclusion I can come to is that the situation is out of control. If only the old man was alive right now. I guess that was kind of whiny, but I will put it down to the patched up chest wound that still feels so raw. Idiot, I've already decided to do whatever I can, even if I don't understand what is going on. I can complain later. First of all, I need to decide whether I should get involved or not. Ich glaube, das hast du nicht mehr zu entscheiden. The bell on the roof of the house rings. No matter what anyone says, this house is still a mage's house. A bounded field is set around it, and if there's ever an intruder in the area, an alarm rings. A burglar at this hour? I berate myself for my own idiocy. Of course, it's not a burglar. Given the timing, right after that weird incident, there's definitely an intruder. It's no burglar, it's an assassin. They're here to take a life, not property. Because that man said so himself. You saw what you saw, so you gotta die. The house is dead silent. That same murderous intent I felt at school creeps closer through the hushed darkness. I gulp. A chill prickles like needles along my spine. It's no illusion, and it's not my imagination. I know that the moment I leave this room, I will be stabbed again. I desperately try to contain my scream. The instant I scream, the assassin will just leap right in and kill me. And that would just be a repeat of what happened before. I'm not prepared, and I'm going to be impaled again. My breathing grows labored as soon as that thought crosses my mind. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself for being afraid, and I'm mad that I've put myself in a situation where I will easily lose my life after it was saved earlier the same day. I grit my teeth and hold my hand tight over my wounded chest to restrain myself. I need to get out. I need to get used to this. This is the second time. This is the second time I'm about to die. That alone motivates me not to die. Not to die so pathetically as last time. Am I not a mage after all? And if I can't even defend myself from this, what were my 8 years of training for? Fine, bring it on. I'm not going to agonize over complicated things anymore. Right now I just need to drive away whoever's here. I need to find a weapon. I may call myself a mage, but the only thing I can do is reinforce something that might work as a weapon. You need a weapon to fight after all. There's plenty of things that might work as a weapon in the stores, but I'm not anywhere near there. If I leave the living room and get ambushed, I'm just going to expose myself, and it will be a repeat of what happened earlier. It won't be easy, but I've got to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be good. My opponent's weapon of choice is a spear, so a knife would be all but useless. A wooden sword would be best, but I obviously don't have one just lying around. Something around here that might be suitable as a weapon. Well, there's only the poster for Gine left. I can't help but feel utterly dejected. But the desperation makes me all the more determined. The situation is so bad, it can't really get any worse. Then all that's left for me to do is move forward until I have no energy left. Trace on. I speak my incarnation, and I inject magical energy into the rolled up 60 cm poster. I try to imbue as much magical energy as I possibly can into the poster to solidify it, since it needs to work as a weapon to go up against that spear. Composition analyze. I focus my consciousness. Magical energy permeates the poster, and as if I'm staining its fibers with my own blood. Composition reinforce. I feel that I've hit the end. Right before magical energy spreads throughout the poster and spills out, I say, trace off. I cut off my connection with the poster. I tremble with excitement. The poster is hard as steel, but its weight remains the same as before. It has turned out great for a hastily improvised sword. I did it. How long has it been since my strengthening magecraft succeeded? My magecraft hasn't worked ever since Kiritsugo died, and so for it to succeed at a time like this seems ironic. Either way, now I may be able to defend myself. I at least have some discipline in swordsmanship. I grip the poster with both hands and stand in the middle of the living room. If I stay here, I'm dead, but I don't think I can make it outside the mansion either. So I just need to head to the sheet and make a stronger weapon there. Phew. Just as I start trying to help myself up, every hair on my body stands on end. I'm not sure when he got in, but the guy drops from the ceiling, straight towards me. A silvery flash strikes my head from above. I can only assume he came through the ceiling, and he descends on me, meaning to square my head. I roll forward in a frantic dodge. The man lands with inhuman grace as I clumsily roll out of the way. I stop myself quickly and get to my feet, makeshift sword at the ready. The guy turns lazily, looking aboard. He shifts the spear into his other hand in a slow, fluid motion. I don't know why, but he doesn't seem as aggressive as he did at the school, which might give me a chance at escaping him. He is complaining to himself like I'm not even here. I slowly retreat back out of the room. Only 3 more meters until I reach the window. I will run out, then I will run out. Then it's only about 20 meters to the sheet once I reach the yard. Then I shot quickly. He says it almost absent-mindedly, like it was just an afterthought. Pain shot up my right arm. It all happens in an instant. He thrusts the spear forwards, not even giving me time to react. I should have died for a second time right there. The makeshift sword in my hand spared me that fate. He probably thought I had just been holding a rolled up paper. He struck as if I hadn't been holding anything at all, but the reinforced paper sword deflected the attack so it only grazed my arm. His expression goes blank. His casual attitude from earlier vanishes entirely. He watched his meal now like a feral animal eyeing his prey. Crap, I was clearly wrong, thinking things would be okay. This thing before me is some kind of demon. I'm bound by logic. I keenly realized that letting my guard down even for a second was beyond ludicrous. That's right. Desperate as things are, I should have just made a break for the window right after whatever miracle let me dodge his strike from above. The end of his spear points towards me. I can't block that. There's no way I will be able to block that swift attack. I could have at least braced myself as if he had a sword, no matter how fast he might be with it. But he is holding a spear. A sword is a whole line, but a spear is only a point. How am I supposed to block a point when I can't even see how fast it's move? The man drops into a lower stance. In a flash, the spear swings sideways. I instinctively parry the blow aimed at my face. It's a cyclone. I'm not sure how he's moving his spear in this small room, but it traces a beautiful arc without even touching the walls. The next swing comes from the opposite side, almost aiming at my torso. The force of the swing bends my makeshift sword as I try to parry. Monstrous. Is that a hammer he is swinging? Damn, the numbness in my arm is telling me that they might be broken. I instinctively swing my sword. He must be mocking me with the way he keeps flicking his spear at my sword without drawing back at all. Numbness creeps into my arm after going on the attack. My makeshift sword bends even more and the man's spear changes its trajectory slightly. He moves like this is just a game. Such confidence. He had been letting me take a swing at him after he took a couple of shots at me. I wasted my one opportunity as nothing more than a stop gap. So he sees no point in continuing this. The man readies his spear again. Don't jump to conclusions. During that microscope opening, say what you want, dumbass. I don't turn back to look. I just leap backward through the window. My back shatters the window and I roll out into the yard. I roll a few times, spring upward and... I blindly make my next move. I twist my entire body and swing behind myself. I manage to bat the man's spear aside and he hesitates for just an instant. I knew it. If I jumped out the window, he was going to have to chase after me, and he would catch up to me and go in for the kill before I had the chance to get up. So I expected his fatal blow and swung my sword to the side with all my might. It was a risky move, yet he would have killed me if I had been even a second late, and I would have been just as dead if I was too early too. But knowing the incredible gap in our skill, I figured there was no way I could have been early. The only thing I had to do was to get up as quickly as I could and parry the attack I knew would be coming at my back. The gamble pays off and my swing deflects the spear. I quickly reposition myself. Now I just need to run to the shed while he is still confused. Huh? He is not holding the spear anymore. No, and he is right in front of me. He turns on the spot in a roundhouse kick. Hey! Damit hast du die Distanz überbrückt, will ich behaupten. Scenery goes flying by. My chest goes numb where he kicked me. I can't breathe. The biggest surprise, I'm actually flying through the air. I never thought a guy kicking me would send me into the air like a damn ball. I fall hard onto my back. I slam into a wall, the impact likely breaking my back, and slide down the ground. I can't breathe. My vision blurs. By a stroke of luck, he has thrown me into the shed I want to reach. I lean against the wall, trying to rouse myself. I tried to track the man through blurry eyes. He kicked me nearly 20 meters away. The guy picks the spear and rushes straight at me. I'm going to die. There's nothing I can do now. He's going to reach me. If I don't want to die, I need to get up and parry his hit. The tip of the spear surges. I can't even look back at him. My body on the verge of collapse practically greets the spear. What dumb luck. My knees give out. I can't hold myself up. The spear goes over my head and violently impales the shed's heavy door, pushing it open. And this is my last chance. If only I could get inside the sheet. There should be something I can use as a weapon. I crawl into the sheet on all fours. Just then, he launches a spear at me. Damn you. I block it. I open up the rolled up poster to create a single-use shield. The impact makes a dull sound. The poster unrolled probably isn't as strong. It blocks the spear, but it tears apart, returning to a normal bit of paper. The spear's impact flings me against the wall. I fall on my butt and try to get my heart beating again after it feels like it's trying to quit on me. The moment I raise my head to try to grab something to use as a weapon, the man points the spear in front of my face. I can't do anything else now. His spear is pointed directly at my heart. I know this feeling. It's the scent of death, assailing my nostrils, reminding me of the pain I felt a few hours ago. I don't hear the man's voice. My attention is focused on the weapon pointed at me. Obviously. The moment he thrusts, I'm dead. What else is there to think of at this point? Vielleicht hat das nicht sagen sollen. His arm jerks. I wasn't able to see his movements earlier, but now I see every last one of his in slow motion. There's a bolt of silvery light. The tip seems like it's being drawn towards my heart. Blood will gush from the wound in just a second. I know this feeling. That sensation of iron piercing my body. That taste of blood that will well up in my throat. That feeling of the world around me fading. I experienced all of it earlier today. And now I'm going to have to experience it again. Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to be the one who goes through this? This is bullshit. No, I can't die in vain in a place like this. I was saved. If I can't just die like this. I need to live to fulfill my obligations. I won't be able to do that if I'm dead. The spear is still going to impale me though. The tip will tear through my flesh, break my ribs and bore into my heart. I'm mad. It shouldn't be so damn easy to kill people like that. I'm going to die and it's bullshit. I'm going to die twice in a single goddamn day. Everything is fucking bullshit. I'm going to die and I didn't even have the opportunity to be afraid of this whole goddamn mess. No way in hell I'm not going to let myself die senselessly. To the likes of you. That's absolutely the right word for this moment. Like magic. A figure appears out of a bright light shining from behind me. I can't think. All I know is that the figure is a girl. I hear a high-pitched sound, and the moment the figure appears, it pushes aside the spear pressed to my heart and steps between me and the man without missing a beat. He tries to regain his composure after a spear is pushed aside as the girl brandishes something in her hand. Sparks fly. Hard metal clashes and sparks fly again. The man stomps his foot after blocking the woman's attack. He must have realized he is at a disadvantage because he leaps out of the storehouse with bestial agility. She must intimidate him, but she quietly turns towards me. The wind is strong today. The clouds slide away and the moon shines through for a brief instant. The silver moonlight shines into the shed, illuminating the girl who appears like a knight. Ich würde sagen, an dem Punkt beende ich jetzt mal diese Folge. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.